Hello, friends. Welcome to GODMAKER.
GODMAKER.
Oh, that echo is so good. GODMAKER is Tabletop Gold's weekly-ish god deity homebrew extravaganza, and you're joining us right now live on Twitch. Good to see you. Glad to have you here. If you're not seeing us on Twitch, you're probably seeing the archive on YouTube, and I'm glad to have you there as well. My name's Lars Castine. Nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I'm here with this fellow.
It's me, Matt Humphreys. How's it going, Lars?
Oh, it's going so well, man. I'm having a good Thursday. We just recorded a podcast last night. If you don't know us, we are the two of the folks on the Tabletop Gold actual play podcast. We play, what do we play? We play Pathfinder Second Edition, and we have a grand old time doing it. But we recorded a podcast last night, which is why we're right now on Thursday instead of on Wednesday.
Yeah, this is our normal podcast night.
Yes.
Normally, but things are all turvy-topsy around here.
As they usually are. Like, it is our normal podcast night, but we do tend to, it does move around a fair amount. It's wiggly.
A movable feast.
Schedule.
Yeah.
If you haven't joined us for GODMAKER before, here's what we're doing. Over the course of this series, we are developing our own pantheon of deities. Each episode of this show, we make up a new deity. We roll a die to see what we're making the god of. We figure out what they're. We flesh out a story about who they are. Think about who their followers are, and try to. We're gradually like baking a world as we do that. And we've got this cool. We got this cool. Check this thing out, man. We got this cool thing. This. What am I trying to call this? This is a what is this? What are we talking about?
Relationship map?
A relationship map, almost like a family tree of sorts.
Yeah.
We started with nothing. Right now we have 7 gods, including, let's just take a tour. We got this guy here. We've got Voltheros, the god of cities, transportations, and roads. Fionn Glitterhearth, the god of frivolous excess, etc. Bonaftia Eniok, this fucking maniac over here that ruins everything.
We got a great picture for that one. Yeah.
I agree. We got this mosquito guy. We got our fungus dream dude. We got our war god that we did last week. We've got our harvest god. Just take a gander at what it is that we've made so far. It's outrageous. It's such a delight to do this show. And I'm so glad to have you along for the ride with us. We've got chat going too. We don't typically look at chat super heavily here, but you can see we can toss over to chat just like that. It's just that simple.
Yeah. So if you want to say something, we'll see it, and
that's
we'll
right.
Say hi.
And we'll respond. We'll make you part of the show. Your name and lights right here on GODMAKER. Yep. That's the promise. So what do you say, Armat? Is it time? Oh, should we make this a catchphrase for this show?
Oh, I like that.
So we can like sort of shoot the shit for a while, and then it's like, what do you say, Armat? Is it time?
I think it's time.
Pause. Oh, okay, that's good. So I'll say, what do you think, Armat? Is it time? You say, I think it's time. And then we have to have a dramatic pause, and then in unison we say to make a god.
Okay, I love it. Should we try it out?
Let's try it out now. Let's see if we can get it. What do you say, Armat? Is it time?
I think it's time.
To make
a god.
Okay, so the unison's going to take.
Yeah,
that's going to work. I think we might need to do a visual cue. So I'm going to go like 1, 2, but this isn't going to work because our visuals aren't synced up correctly, right? So if I go 1, 2, 3 to make a god.
To make a god.
No.
It was closer though.
It was closer. Yeah. This is something we're going to practice. Let's just try it one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think, Armat? Is it time?
I think it's time.
To make a god. Okay. All right, let's do it. Enough goofing around. What do you say we check out the old questionnaire?
Oh, love the questionnaire.
The famous GODMAKER questionnaire, which unerringly outputs top shelf gods, no matter what you do.
Yeah,
it's foolproof. Even a couple of monkeys slamming their fingers into a typewriter can like us can make this work out. All right. So, Armat, we have an empty slot here because we
that's right. Yeah.
We just emptied out slot number 6 for our god of order, nostalgia, and war.
Yeah. That was such a fun, weird one. I loved it. Yeah. I always love this show, though.
Me too.
It's so much fun. Yeah.
So let me ask you 2 questions. Is there anything here that we should clean out because it's redundant with something we already have? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think each of those looks kind of cool.
And then I'm going to say, what does this? So that's question 1. No, nothing that we need to do there. Question 2, though, is let's look at this list, just this list, and try to balance it in such a way. Let's add something that balances it. Like we're adding something very different from what we have here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And so cheese and dairy and herbs and craftsmen, those are all sort of very tangible things. Yeah.
I think once we hit one of those, one or two of them might go away. In theory.
Yeah, that makes sense. We have the more abstract sort of categories like memory.
Yeah.
Crime is still like a social thing. So that's tangible, connected to people.
And we've got a lot of those. And I think that's fine. I think it's like fine if our pantheon is weighted in that direction. I don't want to clear crime off the board because it's my favorite one.
Oh, yeah. Right, I think that's going to be a fun one to do when we finally get to it. Like,
Can I make a suggestion? This isn't really my pitch, but it's the kind of thing that I want to think about. Oceans, water, like big, broad geological stuff. Like, is there something that captures something? Maybe it's oceans, but is there something that captures like something with some scope beyond like the social thing like you're talking about?
Yeah, I love that idea. Like something a little bit more like Poseidon-y, where he's like, you
or
appease
like the sun or something like that. Just like something really big.
Yeah, I mean, love the idea of a sun god and like do our own weird. Love, yeah, that's a great one. I like those categories that are like sufficiently large and abstract enough that there's a lot of ways you can
I agree,
play with them.
Yeah.
And like a lot of different people who can worship that god.
Yeah.
So
what do you think? Do you have anything you want to
add? Have we done time? I mean,
we have not done time.
That could be a kind of cool, weird god.
All right.
But I'm also happy to go with other things. If you had one that you want to pitch out,
let's do time. I like time. Time was the first thing out the gate. So let's do it. And I don't think it's redundant. There's a little bit of time in Einsamosk stuff, but that relation is not bad, right? That could just mean that these two gods know each other.
Yeah.
So, Armet, you want to roll a d8?
Oh, I always do.
Yeah, please. Please.
For the judge's inspection, that this is a regulation D8.
I see nothing wrong with that D8. I see no reason not to take you at face value.
All right. Number 1, cheese and dairy.
Okay, good. That's good because
fun.
I have ideas that I feel very strongly about this one.
Excellent. I am hyped about that.
Let me just pitch you this idea now.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this god of cheese and dairy should basically be Prometheus. I think that this should be the spark of civilization, that it's like, we're presenting a world in which the ability to create cheese and dairy is the spark from which all human or whatever civilization achievement and science and thirst for knowledge and so on comes from. I want this to be like a deeply important god that just happens to be themed cheese and dairy because that's the value system. Instead of fire, right? Instead of is Prometheus what I'm thinking of? That's fire, right? He found fire.
He stole fire from the gods and was punished by Zeus by having an eagle come and rip out his liver every morning. And then
good stuff.
Had his 10:30 yoga session.
Love this guy.
Yeah. 5:30 cocktails.
So my pitch is that this cheese and dairy god is essentially the god of technology and the god of human pursuit and self-betterment.
I love that.
Like intellectual pursuit.
I feel like already that's fitting in with our pantheon in a fun way because we got like Voltharos, who I feel would be like a sibling god in many ways, like providing the like structure to implement developments of this god, perhaps.
And I think what I'm arguing is that this cheese and dairy god would be a parent to all of the other gods that are about like human Like, I think this is a
I love it.
big deal god, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I love it. Like, maybe even like themed around cheese and dairy, but like all animal husbandry, perhaps. And like,
I think all animal husbandry, all research, all intellectual ambition, all wisdom, all like I want to go big with this one.
I like that. Also, maybe then the god of alchemy too, because like
100%,
right? Like, yeah,
anything that's like science, technology, research, learning. I want to be the cheese and dairy god.
I'm hyped. I like it so much, and
Okay,
it's like, it opens up
so fun,
many fun like potential avenues for us to goof around with too.
And it means that like all universities in this world would have like a block, like the way that like medicine in our dumb world is like a snake wrapped around a stick, because these guys had to like stick a stick into your bloodstream and pull a worm out or whatever was going on over like whatever nightmare thing it was that the first doctors did to save people from the most horrible deaths imaginable.
Ooh, that does remind me, I'm late for my monthly bleeding. I should.
Oh yeah, you got to get that done, please, please.
Made a note just there. Yeah. The viewer can't see that I have a pen and pad of paper, which I didn't expect myself to become a prop comic at 37. And
now, please, you work your way into that kind of thing for sure. But I'm imagining that like all universities, instead of having like a scroll, will have like a block of cheese, like as part of their.
Yeah, I also get like a Future Farmers of America kind of vibe that could be like playing into it, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Could be. Okay.
What's the other one I'm thinking of?
Friar Took in the chat, hanging out, saying that fermentation and maturation seem like related themes, and generation. I think it's true.
Yeah. Love all those Asians.
All of the Asians. We love them. Okay, so let's describe this god. Are they humanoid? I think they are. I think this is a humanoid that we're talking about, because we're sort of suggesting this is a creature that discovered cheese, discovered the processes by which you can culture bacteria into making a delicious thing.
I have a crazy idea.
Please bring it on.
Would this god potentially be the god that like sparked all chemical, bacteriological,
science? This is the god of science, is what I'm trying to say.
I love it. I absolutely love that. It's funny that actually, and never mind. I'm going to save that if we ever do the blood god episode. Okay. But I think that's so cool. So this god was the demiurge that created all those humanoid races, it feels like then, or indirectly maybe. Does that track?
I would say the created civilization. I think that the creation of, like, in my mind, it's not like they don't capture all human existence. It's like all human pursuit. You know what I mean? So you could have like the way that like we came up with this myth of like Rahayim, people ate a meal of mushrooms and went to sleep, and then connection came out because from that. This would be like this god blessed somebody with the power to make cheese, and from that all human self-improvement. And it's not about connection like the Rahayim stuff is. It's about reaching for something more. It's about a pursuit of immortality, of greatness, of becoming something more than a person. Like they're almost like the god of like cheese, science, and ambition almost.
I love it. Yeah, totally. That tracks for me. It's the Babel story, but instead of like scattering and breaking civilization from one singular thing, it's about like
it was a win.
Yeah,
they got delicious cheese out of it.
Yeah,
and the taste of the cheese inspired everybody to create great research, organizations, and from there, all chemistry, engineering, biology,
Yeah, I love that. Also, at some point, I am going to make a cheeses joke during the.
I can't wait. Everybody, get ready.
Stream. So look out for that when it drops.
Okay. So I think, what do we think? Is this person I think this person's humanoid, or I think this god is humanoid. I don't think that they're like they're not a star. Like this. I think they must be humanoid.
Yeah.
Because it's about human pursuit.
Exactly. And like the creation of cheese is like a humanoid thing. It's not necessarily for beasts or demons or it. Yeah.
We have yet to establish that we have elves in this world, so I don't know if we want to break that off. But we could. If you want to go elf, we can go elf. I don't think, I would say either human or elf, personally.
Yeah, I think that was why I asked that question, is I was sort of like seeing, like, you know, in a lot of fantasy canon, the elves are the sort of ancestors of men, I feel like, in some
so
ways.
They could have been they could have uplifted humanity by giving them cheese or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, so I could see elf, but I'm also just happy, like...
You want to go elf?
I could totally go elf.
Let's go
The
elf.
other thing I was thinking was, like, they could be humanoid from like the neck down and have some sort of more abstract,
like the head of a cow.
Oh yeah, totally. Like
a cow wearing spectacles, like a science cow,
and like a one of those baccalaureate like slate hats or whatever they're called.
That's right. So let's say human, and let's hang on to what their head is until we get to this like special body part thing, and we'll figure out what their head is after that.
At the risk of getting all Baphomet-y, we could do a goat head.
Let's do a goat head, goat milk. Why not? I mean, my understanding is that more human beings on our Earth eat goat or drink goat milk than eat cow or drink cow milk. My understanding,
no kidding,
is that maybe I'm wrong. Is that goat the population of people that consume goat is much larger than the population of people who consume cows?
That kind of makes sense to me. I feel like
I think cows are really expensive to keep, so I think it is,
and they take relatively a lot of space too.
I think it's pretty difficult. I think it's like really inaccessible. It is a wealthy person's game to raise cows, I think, basically. Yeah,
I think that makes sense with my limited knowledge about it.
So I love goat head. Let's go goat head. So let's keep that in mind. Let's just fill it in now. Any specific physical features? Yes. Do we want to just say they have the head of a goat?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. I love it. What is this god's name, Armat?
Okay, so here's where my brain went twice. Since the cow head thing, a goat goddess in Egypt was Hathor.
Okay.
And there's the cheese Havarti. I was thinking something with an H.
Okay.
That is my dumb brain.
If you're thinking Baphomet, can we throw an H on there? Can we get like a Hafo something?
Oh, yeah.
Haforem or something?
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Hafotech. Can we get a tech in there somewhere?
Oh, yeah. Hathotech.
It's a little too. I don't know.
No.
Let's go Hafo something and throw something else on there.
What's your fufavorite cheese?
My favorite cheese is Sonny gets this like drippy cheese.
Ooh.
It's like one of those. It's a soft cheese. It's not a brie. It's not a camembert. It's a highfalutin fancy pants soft cheese. Let me just look this up. Cheeses like brie, and I'm gonna get this for you. All about cheese, soft cheeses. What I'm talking about is none of these.
Your own personal cheeses. There it was. Yeah.
There it was.
For the very particular Depeche Mode cheese Western Christianity appreciator. That's your joke.
That's kind of me. That's like kind of where I am, to be honest.
I think it probably describes a fair number of people here in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay, I'm giving up on this. I'm giving up on this cheese.
It's not Boursin, quest. Is it? Because I love me some Boursin.
No, this is like.
Oh, what about goat cheeses?
Yeah, let's talk about a goat cheese. That's a great idea. Goat cheeses. There's chèvre, so we could just go Hafovre.
Hafovre?
Hafovre.
I was, can I pitch something?
Please.
Hafochev, like it's also
Hafochev.
kind of a joke because half-o-chevra is chev.
I love it. So it's Hafochev.
Hafochev.
I'm glad that we've gotten goofy with. It only took us 8 gods to get real silly about it, but I love it. Hafochev. Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
What's this person's nickname or logline? So this is like Hafochev, comma the right.
Yeah,
and I really this is where I really want to blow the doors off with how like I want this to be big, personally.
Yeah,
like the light or something like that.
Yeah, that was kind of where my mind was going, like the spark of the divine spark, or like
Hafochev the spark. Well, do you use sparks in making cheese? Let's look this up. What is needed to make cheese? Right? So we need cultures. You need time. Do you need heat?
Oh my God,
I don't think so.
Wikipedia page on the history of cheese. I am going to lose the production of cheese predates recorded history.
See what I'm talking? Do you see what I'm trying to? This is what I was thinking about. This is why I wanted to go so big with this.
Totally. No, I mean, it's so fundamental. Whoa. Humans likely developed cheese and other dairy foods by accident as a result of storing and transporting milk in bladders made of ruminant stomachs, as their inherent supply of rennet would encourage curdling. That is
and then someone
wild.
was like, maybe we should eat this.
Yeah, that smells pretty good, though,
Well, it's probably like the first 500 times it happened, the person who ate it got horribly sick. And then the 501st time, this person was like struck, like touched literally by the hand of God, basically, of like, this is incredible. What has, like, just like starry-eyed, collapsing, weeping.
I have been just sucking on rocks for the last year or two, and it has not been pleasant, and this is delicious. The spark,
I just searched for cheese technology, and it didn't really get me much. So
wow. I'm totally going to go down such a. I need to actually maybe close this window, because I am otherwise just going to start reading about the history of cheese and be like, whoa.
Okay, so check this out. I'm imagining that cheese has to happen in a dark place. So how about this? Hafochev, the light in the dark.
I love it. Yeah.
Because you put your milk in a dark place, and then life happens, and just as cheese itself develops and grows more nuanced, so does human the pursuit of knowledge and of advancement and so on.
Yeah.
Do you buy it?
Yeah. I buy it.
Okay. And I'm glad that we got something as pretentious as the light in the dark for our cheese god that we're making.
Hell yeah. No, I feel like the joy of this is, the when we go high, we go low, or whatever that phrase.
That's right.
We're going both high and low all at once.
When they go low, we go low. Is that how it went? I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we
just pretty much verbatim?
Yeah. So Hafochev, Hafochev to me feels like. Do you think that there's something that, given that this is a dairy product, this should probably be a female god? Is that outrageous? Am I making assumptions here that I shouldn't be making?
No, I think that works. It's also sort of the birth of a new.
I agree.
Of civilization. So I think Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just thinking of like goddess as divine mother goddess kind of types.
I think that's in there too. I think that's absolutely I feel part like of this.
And like there's sort of this benign affection that the mother has for her children and this technology. Yeah, and also it's fun to have her be the goddess of like science and technology. Which let's do that. Yeah.
So she's a woman with the head of a goat. We know that, right?
Yep.
What is she wearing? Is there anything? What else can we use to describe this person?
Yeah, I was just thinking like maybe sort of classical toga, but
I like
carrying some sort of like chalkboard or
Yeah.
something that indicates, intellect and
What's
technology.
like what's a handheld sundial called? Do you know what I mean? What can we just say a sundial?
Yeah.
It's a woman with a toga holding a woman in a toga with the head of a goat holding a sundial.
What if
'Cause that's
she's
like-
holding a sundial in one hand and a bowl in the other? Or because like a bowl gets to the cheese part as well, I guess. Or like,
Yeah, I think that's good. So a woman in a so let's try to a goat-headed woman. Let's lose the toga if we can.
absolutely.
A goat-headed woman with the head of a goat. Nope, we don't need that. Holding a sundial and a bowl.
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
Okay, cool. What are their relationships with Voltheros? I think she is his mother.
Absolutely.
Voltheros, of course, are I'm gonna build this out a little bit because people haven't seen all this stuff. God of municipal transportation, basically, right?
Yeah.
And cities. She's his mother.
Absolutely.
Okay, Rehaim, the god of dreams and consciousness.
Yeah.
I think she's a sister.
Yeah, I was gonna say sibling or significant other, perhaps.
Ooh, yeah. Okay,
Because mushrooms and cheese are pretty awesome together. I've had
She's
the
married
pizza to suggest that.
Yes, I mean I think it's disgusting what you're saying, but I believe you.
Right,
Fiona
of course,
Glitterhearth.
yes.
This is our god of crafting and frivolous excess, right?
Love a glitter hearth. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does? I think that they're siblings. Maybe no, that doesn't make sense.
Isn't she? What's her relationship? I kind of forget on the web who she's related to, and like.
Let's take a look at the web, shall we?
That could be helpful here.
Let's take it to the web, guys. So here's our current web. Fionn Glitterhearth is the godmother of Bunny. She is the daughter of Graced. I'm not sure that really makes any sense anymore. This relationship web needs some substantial work because we have various people that I think are their own parents at this point.
Just like Fry and Futurama.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
Just from a thematic perspective, I guess I could see them being like maybe she's an older sister to Fionn Glitterhearth or a cousin, because like there's something about crafting and technology and developing something that feels related there.
So Graced, the god of like, give me the harvest or I'll eat you. I feel like they're maybe in competition with each other.
Yeah, she's sort of the Zeus to his Hades, I feel like, in some ways.
I like that. So Graced is the worm god of harvest and destruction, right?
Right.
So she's his
sister, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, so that could make her Fionn's aunt, which also feels like tracks to me.
Okay.
Right?
So yeah, I think it's great. Einsamosk, this is our god of solitude and loneliness.
Yeah.
I think that she's going to have all these relationships with all of these people because this is such a big concept.
Right.
I think that, there is something about being alone that can help you discover things. I don't think I think that they're different though, because like the things you discover in solitude, I think it's more about like looking inside yourself and expressing some deeper thing, rather than like experimentation, technology, science, etc. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It seems like Einsamosk is more a god of mystics, whereas she's a
Yes.
god of sort of
Exactly.
scientists in some way.
So maybe let's just to simplify this, say no real connection at this point. Like they're just two different.
Yeah.
They don't really engage with each other. Okay, so Beneftia Eniok, this is our god of entropy, decay, entropy and decline, right?
Yeah.
And dysfunction.
And dysfunction, yeah. I think they
they're
might have
enemies.
a
Are you wrong?
yeah. But also there's something about like I feel like entropy or dysfunction can sometimes have like sort of miraculous things, like, you know, someone leaving the milk in the goat bladder for too long and it curdles with the enzymes. Like that's like ostensibly a dysfunction, but also could turn into you know, stealing fire from the gods kind of thing.
I think it goes the other way too. It's like potentially pursuing science can lead you into dysfunction and entropy.
Right. Yeah. There's the Oppenheimer, I am become death,
exactly,
destroyer of worlds. Yeah, absolutely. So maybe they're peers in some ways.
they're peers, rivals.
Yeah, that totally tracks for me.
Mayamwisti, our god of order, nostalgia, and war.
That was such a fun one. Oh,
that was a good one.
That was a really good one. If you're on YouTube, you should go back and watch it because we had a lot of fun.
Genesis and decay. This is Friar Took. Genesis and decay feel like parallel concepts, perhaps a strained lover. I'm always a fan of a strained lover.
Yeah.
So what if we say this? They're lovers and rivals.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's really fun.
Okay. So let's talk about Mayamwisti. I'm tempted to say that this is that they don't like talking to each other.
Yeah. That kind of tracks for me. Like,
but we don't, I think we don't have a great connection beyond that. This, this web of relationships is getting everything that we just did made this way more complicated and probably loaded in tons of contradictions that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
So we'll have to resolve those at some other time.
That tracks.
that's future us's problem. That's not our problem.
I love it when it's future me's problem and not current me's problem.
Yeah. So let's do a myth. We've got a myth here. I think we've got a pretty easy one to start off with. It's what we've been talking about. Like the first steps of human / societal scientific work came from the discovery of what is this? Hafoshev?
Yeah.
Of Hafoshev's cheesy bounty.
Love it.
It's not exactly a myth. We can do something more precise than that and something more flavorful than that, but I think that's kind of like kind of what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I was actually going to say maybe she was an ascended god, but then I remembered the number one rule 0.
No ascended gods.
Yeah, fair enough. It's right there. I knew it was there. I walked right in.
You signed the waiver.
So now anything that happens to me during this stream, we're totally indemnified.
Your responsibility.
Against. Yeah, I chose it.
So what do we think?
So a myth. I'm sort of wondering if perhaps she hid the like goat. We have the myth about the party that Fionn Glitterhearth through, right?
Yeah.
That united to. Maybe we have something similar to that where like they were prepping for this party and Hafochev hid the milk. And so everyone was in a total tizzy about it. But in hiding it, it became cheese and astounded all the learned types at the party, and they became worshippers of Hafochev. And like her scientific clergy was begun.
Okay. Academical culture was thus born. Do we like that?
Yeah, maybe there was a great debate that was part of the really fun of the party, and
yes. Okay, a great debate was held. Oh, how about this? Was held whether to eat the cheese, right? And those who ate became the first scientists or something.
I love it. Yeah.
I like the idea of the cheese as a gift.
Yeah.
Like cheese was, so it's sort of like she uplifts people, like the gift of cheese. That's sort of what we're talking about here, right? It's like the gift of cheese. I guess it's all we're saying the same thing over and over again. Okay, that's fine. We got a myth. Are we good to move on? Do you want to move on, or do you have any more?
I'm good
myths?
if you are. Yeah,
I'm good.
If something pops, I'll blurt it out. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm so hyped. I want to shout out Friar Took in the chat. They also suggested, rather than a sundial, a lens could work as well, which I thought was kind of a cool idea. I don't know.
Let's do a lens. Let's do it. That
gets more to the light aspect. Although I like that the sundial is like time.
Light too. You have to wait for cheese. Was the idea?
I was just thinking, making that connection. So I leave that in your hands, sir. I think I'm stoked about either.
Let's keep what we got.
Okay.
Speaking of what we've got, let's get some photos. Let's get a photograph of this god.
Because we're so excited.
Okay, good. We're at the image section now. We're going to get a picture of this god as painted by Raphael,
house artist for
our house artist
Tabletop
for
Gold.
Tabletop Gold. Yes.
You heard it here first. Raphael is,
and we're using Doll E2, the the technology that will end all human pursuit. So this is all really relevant. I feel like this is all everything's pointing in the same direction.
Oh, yeah, this is where cheese leads to. Is this moment in culture and time?
Okay, so here's what we got.
Oh,
I'm kind of into
these. Are cool.
These are cool. These two are not goat-headed. This one has this one. I think there's something nice. I kind of just like it. It's not exactly what we asked for, but I think it captures a personage. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Do you want to get some variants? Do you want me to get variants on this one? Do you think?
Yeah,
see what they look like?
I think we're pretty close, but yeah, let's see some variants.
Let's see some variations, right? Let's see.
That was the one I immediately went to as well.
Yeah, I think it just like looked good. It was just like a nice composition, and that gets you so far, to be honest. Like that really
really does. Yeah. The structural tricks of art are really, really great.
Agreed.
Yeah.
This fourth one has like a Braun Series 7 razor coming out of his head, which I don't really understand.
Yeah. I sort of still like the first, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let's just roll with it. Let's just do it.
Perfect. Done.
Nailed
it first try.
The first outing on the first try. Perfect.
Love it. Hard to improve on perfection.
That's right. So give me a second. I got to save this thing to our thing. There's that beep effect that you hear. Okay, great. So now it's time for us to get her symbol. What is Hafoshev's holy symbol, do you think? Is it a vat of cheese? What is cheese? Is it a wheel of cheese?
Yeah, I kind of like a wheel of cheese. Yeah.
A wheel of cheese?
A wheel with the aspirated H. You must do it.
Wheel. So we're going to get a stained glass window depicting a wheel of cheese.
I like this because she'll also this way be the god potentially of Pac-Man.
Which, I think it makes sense. Pac-Man was a major technological breakthrough.
And a big consumer of...
Is there cheese
ghosts
in
and cheese?
I'm not sure.
I don't know that there is. I was just thinking, I visited a buddy and we'd gone to one of those like, arcade bars, which was very fun.
Yeah,
if you
those are
haven't
always
been,
fun. I haven't gone to one in a decade probably at this point, but I would really like to.
well,
know?
I can definitely say that the archives in Burlington, Vermont is a good time.
Cool.
But yeah, we played some Pac-Man, but I don't remember seeing any cheeses. I remember berries, ghosts, and little white dots, but not
Yep.
much else.
Yeah, cherries. So I don't love these.
I think of them, I agree. I think I like number 2 the best
I
of
agree.
the 3 or
Do you
4.
want to try to get variations on that? See if it gets any closer?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's see.
That third one was a slice of pie. That wasn't a cheese. That was a
Yeah,
pie with a bunch of cheese curds inside of it.
totally. Maybe a quiche, perhaps.
Oh, this is trash. Look at this garbage.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to articulate this wheel of cheese a little more strongly, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Okay, we're getting a wheel of cheese with a slice taken out of it to try to capture that Pac-Man look that everyone goes nuts for.
It is a good
It's a great look.
it is. It really is. That little triangle. Have I babbled about how an artist friend of mine was telling me every good picture has like a square, a triangle, and a circle in it?
No, that's funny.
I think it's actually true. Whenever you look at any art, those 3 things are all at play.
I
Polygons.
believe it. You know what I don't believe, though, is that I like any of this.
Yeah, we seem to be moving further from the mark.
Yeah, I'm just going to get another prompt just on Wheel of Cheese and see if it will actually do what we're asking it to do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Otherwise, let's just go with our option 2 that we had. This one right here.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's legible as cheese. Oh, okay.
This is our new thing. I just don't know. This one has light, which is cool. Right, since this is the light and the dark, I think the idea of like a sun shape.
Right, yeah.
Well, let me change this. What if it's a wheel of cheese and the sun?
Well, I like that.
See what that looks like. Just take a look, just see what the technology gives us. Let's just rely on Hafoshev to guide us in the right direction.
May Hafoshev bless us.
This is what happens when you try things, is they come back stupid.
I actually kind of like number 2 in a weird way.
You like number 2? Let's do it.
I mean, do you hate it?
No, I don't. I love it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Cool.
Yeah, perfect. I like that it's sort of elegant and simple. It's just like wheel of cheese crowned with the sun.
I mean, it feels right for how sort of prime this god is that we're suggesting.
Yeah.
Like this is a big deal. This is a big deal god. And there we go. We have today's god and we have today's holy symbol integrated into the shot. Yeah. What a well-produced show this is. Can you believe what a good job we do making this show? It's unreal.
I cannot. It is great.
Okay.
I actually really love the 2 images in combination together. Like
they're good.
It's working for me pretty hard at this point. Yeah.
Fire Took asking, so is the sun canonically cheese in this universe? I think the sun and cheese are intimately linked in this universe.
Oh, I love that. It's kind of like the inverse of the moon is made of cheese.
That's right. In this universe, the sun is made of cheese.
The sun is the cheese of the cosmos.
Okay. What sorts of locales typically house this god's followers? Bold all that apply. So I think that they can be anywhere people live, theoretically.
Yeah.
I want to add universities.
Yeah.
I want to add libraries. I feel like that's maybe more of a what sort of areas house this god's temples. So let's move that down there, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, are there any exotic locations? I think any, like, I don't know, like if this were John Carpenter's The Thing, that research facility at whatever McMurdo research base would have,
right, in
would have a bunch of
Antarctica?
cheese in Antarctica. Yeah, would have a bunch of cheese hanging out there, right?
Oh my God, I want to watch that version of The Thing so bad now.
Yeah. Whatever. So yeah, this is just like a broadly, they're kind of everywhere, right?
Yeah, I'm sort of imagining that this is the biggest religion in whatever our setting is that Hafochev is the like
broadly applicable, like in international. Like I think the way that we talked about our god of Mayim Wisti, our god of order, nostalgia, and war, is that they're very prevalent, but there are sometimes like nations that are deeply committed to them.
Yeah.
Whereas
totally.
this is just like broadly a wide base.
Yeah. Pan continental god kind of thing.
Because they're so intimately connected with like human nature, sort of. Right?
Totally. Yeah, that really tracks for me. I also like the idea that like people would both worship Hafochev and make offering to Graced, because I imagine that like the two parts of the religion, you like need both to be a successful farmer, rancher, So I really like
I think it could lead to conflicts though, where it's like the Graced worshippers might get irritated with like more technological, like Graced worshippers might be mad about like milking machines being added to a farm because they're like, that's not how Graced demands the milk. Like the milk, when pulled by hand, is more true to Graced's demands. And the Hafochev people would be like, that's a myth.
Right.
You're fools.
Totally. And I love that you can have the partisans in both camps, as well as people who like pay homage to both and possibly many, many gods, which is really cool.
Yes. Friar Took is pointing out that breweries and bakeries were historically associated with alchemy.
Ooh.
So I like that idea.
Yeah,
yeast and in all forms is probably Hafochev related, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say cultures that yeah. Ooh, maybe there's a fun philosopher's stone angle we could work into her like I don't know, canon, I guess is actually the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah, let's do it. So like so let's just say like alchemical, so it's like universities, maybe we combine university, I don't know. Can we just say like alchemical labs?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I feel like they would have a small but tasteful shrine of Hafochev, and
I think it's like kind of like the way that Caden Kalian is represented in Galarian, where it's like at the back of this bar there's a shrine. So it's like many locations have am I typing? Yeah. Many locations have shrines included within. Not all temples. How about this? Most temples are not freestanding structures dedicated to the worship of Hafochev.
I like that. But I bet there are like one or two really, really beautiful cathedrals, maybe.
Agreed. That also are like there are some, right. So like,
yeah, but they're like connected with as centers of learning. Totally. Like maybe the university is the University of Hafochev, and there's like, you know, her clergy are also academics in some ways.
Yeah. So some of her dedicated temples are themselves wondrous universities or libraries.
That sounds awesome. I'm so into this goddess.
Good. Okay, so what sorts of professions might this god's followers have? Cheesemakers.
Yeah.
Right?
Obviously.
Cheesemakers, alchemists, researchers,
farmers or ranchers, maybe more particularly.
Librarians, ranchers, academics, sort of the same as researchers, but
here's sort of a left field. Astronomers, maybe, as they're like trying to investigate the cosmos and like
I think it's good.
Know, that gets into the solar angle of things.
Yeah,
and
the
like
sun is right there in the symbol. I love it. That's good.
Cool.
is there anything else? I feel like this kind of captures. This is like very easy to do. I feel like some of
this
these
one
gods
is,
they
like-
have some real wild stuff down the lane, but like this is a pretty broadly accepted god. There's nothing really too horrible happening here. It's just like a lot of anybody who wants to be a smarty pants is probably like
making
giving some time to the
offering.
worship of Haphasheth. Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Okay, cool. Do they wear any sort of clothing to show their devotion?
Ooh, maybe like the monks, they wore like saffron robes or bright gold togas, maybe going.
Yeah.
Is saffron the color I'm thinking of? Is that,
I mean,
or is
I
that
can-
more orange?
Orange saffron is like orangey red, like the plant is.
Oh, yeah.
Golden togas.
Yeah, the Buddhist monks that wear them, that's more orangey, I think, then. But
Yeah.
like, I love the idea of gold robes and like steal that.
Yeah. Okay. So it seems
Cool.
like gold is our color here, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because it's the color of cheese, it's the color of the sun. Baby Mannequin says pendants with yeast starters.
I actually
think that's
like
good.
a little clasp that has like cultures kept inside. I love that.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's fun.
Maybe yeah, like a small, right? Like it's like a small vial of a small container. We all get it, right? We all understand what we're doing. Anything else fashion wise that we want to do? I feel like the toga thing that we keep coming back to, it's like this vision of the sort of like Greek university, right? Like we're kind of imagining like Socrates or whatever as a follower of Haphasheth.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a very like classical Greek Roman Enlightenment vibe.
Right. Like when we're talking about her libraries or universities, like we're imagining I don't know, maybe well, whatever. I feel like this could manifest itself in different cultures in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Is there anything else that we want to throw in here, or should we move on?
Nothing's popping for me right now.
All right.
So
this ritual thing. We have to have ritualized cheese making.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And maybe there's a special kind of cheese that is only made for like sacred rituals.
Yes. Can I share something stupid?
Please. Always. Yeah.
Okay. So if you've ever listened to the Howard Stern show on Sirius XM, they regularly get this advertiser that's like the dumbest thing you have ever heard in your life. We're gonna go to the close up for this because I just want to talk to you about this, Armat. It's the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life. It's blackened whiskey, which is a Metallica branded whiskey where they made by some like whiskey savant. They say this dude's name in the ad copy, which is just absurd because like who cares, right? But the whiskey is made by barrels set up in front of speakers, and they blast Metallica's music through these speakers at the whiskey, right? So there's this idea.
That is the silliest thing I've ever heard, and I'm so into it.
Ridiculous, and they advertise so much, which says that it must be a good gimmick, right? Yeah.
The Black Album also being one of the more controversial Metallica albums. My understanding.
Who produced that? Is that a Bob Rock joint? That Black Album? Am I crazy?
No, actually. I'm sure you're right.
Yeah, Bob Rock produced it. Yeah. So like, okay. So what I'm suggesting is that there may be a ritual by which cheese, as it's aging, has prayers whispered to it.
Love it. Yeah, absolutely.
So that the cheese itself contains the essence of the spirit poured into it through these prayers.
Oh, what if they have to stand a vigil all night chanting the like lays of sacred to this, so that it and maintain the light in the dark.
Yes. And let's push this one step further, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is sort of taking it somewhere different. I think this is kind of a different thing. It might replace this, but while the cheese is after a scientific breakthrough is made, right? A batch of cheese must be started. Okay.
Okay.
And the truths that humanity has just uncovered must be whispered to the cheese so as to be heard by Hafoshev.
Yeah.
To please her, right? You know what I'm saying?
Totally. Yeah, and so she sort of godmothers all knowledge in
to share a finding before whispering it to Hafoshev's cheese is a great blasphemy.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so cool.
So before you go for peer review, you have to whisper your new, like Einstein whispers the theory of relativity to the cheese, so that it may become part of the great cheese tapestry that Hafoshev shares with us. Oh, okay. Check this out. It is said, okay, do you like this? Tell me if you like this. It is said that every great scientific breakthrough creates a new flavor, a new variety of cheese.
Totally.
So when you're eating, you can eat the cheese that is the theory of relativity cheese. Totally. That when Einstein whispered the theory of relativity to the cheese and Hafoshev reached down and touched it with her sundial or whatever the hell it is, that the cheese became, it transubstantiated into something new. And as mankind is blessed with new knowledge, so too are they able to dine upon new cheese.
I absolutely love it. And,
do you like
perhaps
it?
I do. I think it's great. And maybe that's one way of like sacred transmission of knowledge is done through eating these cheeses. And in rare cases, the divine spark can grant you knowledge by eating that cheese.
Well, let's push that. Well, let's get that down. It is said that eating cheese blessed with scientific discoveries, right? Can pass that knowledge on to new scholars, right?
Absolutely.
But let's push this one step forward. Okay.
I'm excited.
Tell me if you like this. Some scientific discoveries carry with them the potential of like great destruction. Those discoveries create toxic and forbidden cheeses.
I love it. Also, this is making me think they might have cheese libraries, which is a concept I think is both hilarious and awesome.
Yeah, so let's put that up here. Libraries. All great libraries contain archives of sacred and noteworthy cheeses.
That's so much fun.
And you can render a cheese obsolete, right? Like if you make a new breakthrough, it's like this cheese that was once thought of as the greatest cheese loses its taste, and people are unwilling to eat it any longer.
I think that's so fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is a thing that happens every time we do this show where there's a point where it clicks and you're like, this is the best.
Yep. This is so much fun.
It took us a little bit longer this time, but I think we got there. I think we got it this time.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think in some ways, because this is such a big god, like we're both kind of on the same page about it, but that just like, yeah, so enthusiastic about this.
Okay. So let's say new breakthroughs can render past breakthroughs cheeses less flavorful.
Also, tidbit from the history of cheese Wikipedia page, which I just saw.
Yeah.
Did you know that cheddar has been around since the year 1100?
No, not at all.
Me
not at all.
neither. Is that wild? I'm totally gonna go further down this rabbit hole once we sign off.
The idea, I bet you there are people out there that want to eat ancient cheeses. There are like absolutely people that like believe that cheese like crossed a threshold at a certain point where we made a mistake and we went too far.
This new cheese is no good.
Havarti. Yeah. We're like Havarti, right? Tastes like
stinks like something real bad.
It's not good. Okay, so are there any aphorisms or sayings that we want to do? I feel like we've found the cheese of the situation, so I think we can start moving a little quicker.
Yeah.
What do we want to say for aphorisms or flavors? Like may today's discoveries be delicious. Tickle your taste bud. You know what I'm saying? Be
taste
creamy.
divine.
Okay. May today's discoveries be creamy. Do we like that? May it taste.
Kind of do.
Okay, let's just do that. Whatever. Let's do great.
I also love the idea that like creamy just becomes the like default. Like yes, this is very creamy.
Yeah, you are having this semester has been quite creamy for you. Great progress holds great taste.
Yeah, I think we're getting into a really fun thing about this, and that there's like
there's an Epicurean angle to
yeah. I was just gonna say a gourmand sort of aesthete.
Yeah. Anything else we have for aphorisms, or do we want to keep this train moving?
Yeah, let's keep moving. Okay, I think
Okay, to sum this up, what are this god's areas of concern? What are the 2 or 3 things that their godhood covers? So let's just say this: cheese. I think we're going more cheese than dairy. Dairy, like we don't really care about milk.
Right?
We're just talking about cheese.
We moved around.
So cheese, progress, and
intellectual ambition, maybe, or scientific ambition.
So let's just say science.
Yeah, perfect.
And taste, flavor,
totally,
joy.
I like flavor or taste or
cheese, science, and taste. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're getting into mechanics now. We're doing some Pathfinder 2e. What are this guy's edicts? What must their followers strive to do? Make new discoveries, right?
Yeah.
I've got savor others' discoveries, right?
Yeah. Oh, what if really extreme sects like eat an all cheese diet?
Yes. Consume cheese at least daily, daily? Yeah, daily. If you care about a religion, you're doing it every day. Consume cheese at least daily. And let's say some sects exclusively eat cheese.
Yeah.
Let's just say their shortened lifespan
is a sacrifice,
carries with it a greater incentive to make discoveries at a young age. They're the mathematicians of because like mathematicians like do all their best work in their 20s, basically, right? Isn't that like the cliche that like
I think so?
Mathematics is like a young person's game, so it's like
that's what Goodwill Hunting taught me, if nothing else.
Right. Anything else we want to throw in here?
I
I think you have
it'd
to read, probably.
Yeah, a lot.
Read a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of covers it. I was trying to think if there's any sort of obeisance or like
I think there's
fun.
something about bettering. Like, I think you have to better yourself by consuming new knowledge and food, basically, or
Yeah, I like that a lot. Like your job in this world is to seek out new knowledge, new food, new
things.
like I
So
like
just
it's a
seek
very
out the new.
open, yeah. Open-minded religion, which is fun.
Yeah, finally we have something that isn't just a bunch of creeps running around in a basement. Okay, what's
like
anathema to this
bunnies.
god? Yeah,
Just a heap.
just a nightmare. Okay, so what's anathema to this god? What must their followers strive to never do?
Share the forbidden cheeses.
Yep. Share forbidden cheeses. Or spread. Like
I see what you did there
dangerous.
With that.
Yeah,
spread.
That's right. Dangerous cheeses. Okay, good. Dangerous cream cheese.
Yeah.
I'm losing it right now. We have to keep moving. This one's going kind of long.
Hit that point too.
Okay. What else must they not do? Destroy discoveries.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Okay. So here's something. I want to say that it's not just seek out the new. It's share. It's like they have to share new discoveries. With a community, and with Hafashev, right?
Totally.
Because it would be anathema to destroy discoveries or keep discoveries for oneself. So like patents would be take out patents. This is, in my mind, this is a academic spread of knowledge, not a commercialization, privatization. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that totally tracks for me. Which I think gets to the next part, which is I think this god's alignment has to be good.
I agree. Good. Yeah, I think just good, just neutral good, right?
Yeah, that was sort of where my mind was going, and like I could see equally her alignments, the followers being any good, basically.
Okay.
Maybe chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. I think this could be a lot of folks.
Yeah.
Like I can see. I don't think lawful evil. I don't love lawful evil.
Yeah.
Lawful neutral. I don't even know what that is, but I'll put it in here. I don't understand that. Expand your palette is something that Friar Took is saying. Let's put that in as an aphorism, shall we?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, like may she bless your palate, or like something like that too.
Yeah. Where do we have those? What happened? Oh, they're there.
Yeah.
I
love May today's discoveries being creamy so much.
I hear you had a creamy discovery yesterday.
I was blessed with creaminess.
Last night I creamed forever. I couldn't stop creaming. So chaotic good, neutral good, lawful good, chaotic neutral. Let's change this. Let's just make this all except. Let's just do that. Evil. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that we have good flavored this enough.
Yeah.
Because this isn't like all knowledge. Like there's a difference between a god of cheese and a god of missiles.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Right. Okay. So all except evil. Do you want to just go with all like neutral evil, chaotic evil, lawful evil?
Yeah, that totally tracks for me.
Cool. Okay, so we got 2 abilities that you can get here. I think we're talking intellect, right? Or intelligence. What are we talking?
Definitely.
What else are we talking about? Constitution, because it's food.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I like that. Or I like wisdom because it's like good. The wisdom to choose between good and evil knowledge.
I think that's good. Yeah, because it's like Constitution is like withstanding poisonous cheeses. That's not what we're doing here. We're eating good things and sharing good things with others.
Yeah.
Does this god have a heal font, a harm font, or both? That's definitely heal, right?
Yeah, no question there.
So we got 2 skills for our divine skills. I think we're looking at crafting, probably.
Yeah.
And medicine?
Medicine?
Nature? Society?
I could see society. It's an int skill.
I feel like we
too,
always go.
so-
It's always society. Every single one of these guys has had society.
Do in fact live in a society.
And we do live in a society. That's true.
You know,
a wise man said that.
Yeah.
Okay. What is this god's favored weapon?
Oh, this is going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. Is there a cheese weapon? Okay. I typed the word cheese into the weapon search. Didn't get anything. It's fine.
Well, cheese knives. So we could do daggers.
Oh, yeah. Let's do daggers. Yeah. Let's just do a dagger. That's great.
Yeah. For spreading creaminess.
Yeah. For spreading.
Or counteracting. What would be the anti-creaminess?
Bitterness? I don't know.
Right? Like, what is the flavor of cheese you don't want?
I mean, I personally hate a blue cheese, but I have to imagine the followers of this god would enjoy a blue cheese. So I don't want to put my own yuck onto their yum. Hey, let's talk about domains of magic, shall we? We got a dagger. It's good. It's for spreading cheese. You have to carry a dagger with you at all times to spread the cheese. Spread the cheese on your enemies. May your enemies taste the cheese of. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So, so what do we want to do for domains? Indulgence. You feast mightily and can shake off the effects of overindulging. That feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that. I think also knowledge.
Definitely knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of had a solar theme, so like maybe sun.
Sun, I agree. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So indulgence, knowledge, sun. That's good.
Anything else? I'm looking through here. Nature doesn't feel quite right because it's more like
And can we say ambition? You strive to keep up with and outpace the competition. I feel like that's a big part of this. We're talking about developing cheeses on top of other cheeses and so on.
Yeah, the domain spell though, blind ambition, doesn't necessarily feel
right
in her theme. It seems more like
you strengthen target's ambition.
They're kind of reading ambition as a negative characteristic where we're looking at.
Okay. You're right. You are correct. There's creation. We always do creation.
I was looking at change because in some ways
I like that. Yeah, change is good. Change. You restructure the physical and metaphysical. What's there? Adapt self. You make subtle changes to yourself to adapt to the situation. That feels good.
Yeah.
So let's do change.
Cool.
Indulgence, knowledge, sun, and change. And let's pick an alternate domain. Shall we?
Yes.
How about,
maybe perfection actually instead of change, because it's more like perfected mind, perfected form. That feels more like striving towards the good. No, don't buy it.
I like change more because I feel like there's always this idea. Maybe we can add an aphorism here of like, there's always a better cheese out there or something like that.
I like that.
We have not yet tasted
the wheel of cheese is always changing.
The wheel of cheese is always changing. Let's do it. The wheel of cheese is always changing.
I love that.
Okay, so let's get our final alternate domain, shall we?
Indeed, yes.
How about none of these are good. Oh, load remaining 9. I haven't seen all of them. Truth?
Oh, there's 9 more. Excellent.
Truth?
I could see truth. Yeah. Yeah, truth tracks for me. Like,
I think it's
Oh,
good. I think it's really good. Go ahead.
it just opened up the funniest idea, I think. A secret sect within of Hafoshev worshippers
Yeah.
who are like the cheese inquisitors, but like on the side of good as opposed to repression and ideological homogeny.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, I maybe it's just because I read those Warhammer 40K books about Inquisitor Eisenhorn, but I could see like you have a cheese investigator character, say, and like Hafachev's like a detective for good. And
Yeah. To search out false
or
false
forbidden.
discoveries. Yes. And forbidden cheeses.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Okay.
fun. Oh my god. Can you imagine an adventure where like the head NPC who's like giving you these missions is like one of these inquisitors and you're going into a mega dungeon to hunt down a forbidden cheese? Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Whoever eats that cheese will carry with them the power of an entire army. Hey, you want to go truth? You want to go truth?
Tasted.
What if
Yeah,
we do
truth.
truth for our alternate domain?
Love it.
Okay, so let's pick a level 1 spell, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at level 1 spell. We're looking at spells, and we are filtering out divine spells because, as we have established, this is a world in which a lot of the magic comes from deities. So the spells that we come up with here are going to be very commonly used spells. And given that this seems like a very widespread god, we have to pick, essentially what we're picking right now is one of the most
commonly
commonly used spells.
Yeah. I have a pitch. Greece.
Yes.
They cover the area in a greasy cheese, like divine apparition of cheese.
Okay. Greece. Greece is good. I seem to have screwed up my filtering here and made it only show me focus spells. I hate this.
Well, you at least know how to filter this thing. I'm just looking at the divine
don't. I'm an
arcane
idiot.
spell list. Well, you know,
every time I do this
trying.
thing, I try to filter it, and it doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand this.
Traditions. I want to do does not contain divine.
Oh, here's one that is not on divine. Share lore. That feels very Hafhachev.
Oh, share lore feels good. What is that? You share your knowledge with people. Choose one lore skill in which you're trained. The target becomes trained in that lore skill. I think that's good. I'd like to, let's do that. Let's just add that. Let's add share lore. For 2 more spells of level 1 or higher, I'd like to pitch hypercognition.
I like that. She like blesses you with the ability to make insights.
Yes.
Totally.
That's the thinking. I want to get rid of all of these focus spells, and I'm so worried that I will get rid of everything that is not a focus spell. Ugh. Do I want not equal to click, check, focus? It is. That's what I want. What a nightmare. Okay. What is Timely Tutor? What is that spell?
Oh, that's interesting.
You serve as an astral connection between your Eidolon. Okay, never mind. It's an Eidolon thing.
Oh, got it. Here's a pitch. Iron Gut to eat lots of various cheeses and walk away with no after effects.
Yeah, let's do it. This is a weird spell to be very common, but let's do it. Okay. Iron Gut. Let's add one more, shall we?
Yeah.
What else can we add? Can we add something that does some kind of attacking, please?
Totally. Yeah. I was trying to think what
I'd like a level 1 attack spell if we could do it.
Yeah, no, that sounds
something that is
good.
not a cantrip. Acidic burst, biting words, briny bolt, burning hands, color spray, deja vu.
Oh, what does
I don't like any of these. Grease is good. Gust of wind, don't like. Hydraulic push, that's not cheesy.
noxious vapors? Maybe they make an extraordinarily stinky cheese manifest, and its vapors waft towards.
Yes, there we go. They attack with a stinky cheese. Wow. Okay, so this is a level 1 spell, 10-foot emanation. You emit a cloud of toxic smoke that obscures you from sight. Each creature except you in the area when you cast the spell takes poison damage. They can also become sickened. All creatures in the area become concealed. And the smoke can be dispersed by a strong wind.
That's a cool spell.
Yeah, let's do it. And that's a level 1 spell. So let's move share lore down to the next category down and add noxious vapors here as our main thing.
Yeah.
So the followers of this god just like throw down these big fart blasts, basically.
I was just
like
thinking,
that's what the scientists in this world do.
Well, it totally makes sense for a war priest, though, too. Like they just get up like in the midst and then like, Hafochev, bless me, and then stinky blasted cheese fumes hits their enemies.
Yeah, I mean it's a great war priest spell. There's no question.
Oh man,
no question at all. I don't think that we got anything else that can be better than that. I think we're done. Are we done? I think we're done.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Wow,
we're done.
that went fast. That was a fun one.
Okay, so let's just throw down the basic situation. Guys, this is the god of cheese and dairy. She is a woman with the head of a goat holding a sundial in a bowl, and her name is Hafoshev, the light in the dark. There are all kinds of relationships here. Do we have any good myths, Armat?
We do. At Fionn and Glitterhearth's party, where she united two opposed clans, Hafochev hid the milk, and when it became cheese, it astounded all those who were wise enough to know what happened. An academic culture was thus born.
I'm sorry, you didn't say academical. You have to. I must insist.
Academical.
Thank you.
Culture was born.
Thank you.
A great debate was held whether to eat the cheese, and those who ate became the first scientists.
Oh, what a good party.
Yeah.
Okay. They have their temples in all kinds of places where knowledge is pursued and where technology is used, like universities, libraries, breweries, bakeries. And many of her temples exist within places that are committed to the pursuit of knowledge rather than being freestanding deals, although great libraries are also her temples.
Yeah. I could also see maybe her followers like creating local libraries and having that be like part of their mission to like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right?
Agreed. Let's put that under the professions.
Yeah.
Missionaries may start libraries where there are none.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay. So who follows her?
Cheesemakers, alchemists, researchers and academics, librarians. Missionaries may start libraries where there are none. Ranchers and astronomers.
All right. They ritualistically make cheese. When they make scientific breakthroughs, they have to whisper their secrets to the cheese so that they can be heard by Hafoshev. Great discoveries create new flavors of cheese, and even greater discoveries render old flavors of cheese inedible.
I love it.
They're also forbidden cheeses. What are your favorite aphorisms that we came up with, Armand?
I love may today's discoveries be creamy, and may she expand your palate. And I love the wheel of cheese is always changing. Like
that's right.
There's wisdom there, you know? Like,
yeah, and we got some things they got to do. We got some things they don't got to do, and that's the whole thing. We did it. We made, of course, Hafoshev, our goat-headed god of cheese and light and the sun and stuff. It's a lot of things. It's a big important god.
Yeah.
Armet, we did it. I want to thank everybody in chat. Thanks, chat. Shout out to chat for throwing all kinds of fun stuff in through that. A huge help as always from the chat. Round of applause for the chat. Ages past, the wheel of cheese turns. It's true.
Yeah.
it's
really like
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put that in there. Ages past, comma, the wheel of cheese turns.
Yeah.
Also
deep wisdom in that.
Let's just revisit one thing if we can. I know that we're wrapping this up. Is the light and the dark the right thing? I feel like we maybe have gotten into a different place than the light and the dark. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have sort of a riff on that in some way. The life in the dark, which is like where,
Yes, that's good. That's
because like the bacteria and cultures that changed the milk into a cheese.
The cream in the dark. Okay, the life in the dark. I like it. So thank you so much to chat as always. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to say goodbye right now. If you're watching us on Twitch, please go ahead and give us a follow or a subscribe if you wanted to. Just appreciate anything you can do for us to help us out over here. If you're seeing this on YouTube, why don't you, subscribe to the channel, give us a comment, give us a like, do all that stuff. If you haven't heard our podcast, Tabletop Gold, it's an actual play podcast using Pathfinder Second Edition rules. We're playing through the Abomination Vaults, and it's a great show. If you haven't heard it, you're going to love it.
It's really fun.
You're going to have a good time. It's a good show, I promise.
Yeah.
And there it is. That's our deal. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for sharing it. Thanks for hanging out with us as we did as we discovered all kinds of new cheeses tonight. The creaminess is overflowing as far as I'm concerned.
Really the cream of the crop.
The cream.
Now I'm just thinking that Macho Man, Randy Savage. The cream rises to the top.
And there you go. We got a subscription. Thanks, Friar Took. You are our first subscriber. You are the
tip of the cap.
Pioneer. Thanks so much, Friar. I appreciate it.
Agreed.
And we're going. We did it. We made some cheese. We made a god. It's the best. It's the best of all possible worlds. We will see you maybe. Next week is going to be tough. We're doing a double record next week, so it might be a little while. We'll do some kind of stream, if not GODMAKER. But we'll be back. We'll be back soon. Stay tuned, and we'll have all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah. Armet, thank you for hanging out and making a god.
Oh, it's a delight as always, bud.
All right,
love doing this.
And I just found a spider jumping around my desk.
Oh,
not happy. Not having a good time.
Don't love spiders. I know they're wonderful and prey on other insects, but they creep me out, unfortunately.
Yes, I may need to clean this room. Okay, everybody, thank you, and we'll see you again next time.
Yeah, may all your discoveries be creamy. Till then.